Hello everyone and welcome to my review of WizKids WarLock Tiles Town and Village Town Square. Now that is quite a mouthful, so for the rest of the time I will just be calling it Town Square. This is a very nice set of pre-painted WizKids WarLock tiles. They come with the easy clips rather than the standard sort of WarLock clips, so they're really nice and easy to put together. Let's jump in and have a look at why I think this is a really nice set and also some drawbacks. So what you can see here, and this was used for a build of the month, so check that out. This is kind of like a set and a half, and I think that's probably my first problem with the Town Square set. You can create a really nice wide road. You can't make too many wiggly, windy, small roads because of the curves that you need and sort of a lot of these sort of straight pieces, which are like 50-50. So if I just pull that off, basically you get quite a lot of these 50-50 pieces. You don't quite get enough, however, to do lots of small wiggling or just small straight roads. And I think that's a small problem. It's almost like this is designed for people that they already know they're going to be getting 2-3 of this set. And I've got 2 of them, and I think that's a good amount. Why I love them is it creates a really nice sort of situation where you can go from one place to another, have a marketplace, have an outside area. And that is a really cool usage, for my opinion at least. These sort of real road gravelly sort of tiles. Now I actually really like them in terms of I think they can be used in other builds in terms of for dungeon floors. You can use them to sort of break up the very sort of standard stone floors. And this is another problem, however. All of these tiles, regardless if they're all of one type or all of the other, so there's the 2 types, they're all completely black on the back. I think I'd probably have even less of an issue with this if it wasn't for the fact there's like a trademark, like this is WizKids where it was made China stamp on the back. That means it's not just solid black, and I can't use it as like a, you don't know what this terrain is until I flip it over. You can, but that I think draws away from it. If it was just plain matte black or even just shiny black, I think you could still use the tiles. The reason for that is, and I kind of understand it, not all of these tiles would lay flat. So for instance, this is a real raised edge where sort of you have the curb of the street leading up onto the nice stone brick-like tiles. But there's plenty of parts of this set, such as these style tiles, which that could have easily been double-sided, and you could have had, therefore, you could have had all of these single sort of themed, single styled terrain tiles double-sided. So then you could choose, do I want lots of gravel or do I want lots of these like bricky ones? That would have been sort of a halfway house, and I feel like they should have done that. Now, these tiles make me really want these in other styles. I really like the way you can use it as transition from one style to another. Now, if you put one of these up against like the wood, I think it really transitions well, but not so well when you put sort of this style against the original stone. I don't know why that is, but to me, I really wish they do sort of some of these extra sort of transition from one type to another type tiles, because they just make things look really nice. The last final negative, unfortunately, is that when it comes to adding buildings into these things, because at the moment in the UK we don't have 1-inch tiles, you have to offset things slightly when you add in full chunky walls. And I don't mean the full height, I mean as in the thickness, not the little sort of thin inner walls. And that's because with all these walls, it adds basically around a building an inch gap that you then can't fill with a 2-inch external tile. So I kind of wish there was a couple of 1-inch tiles of these just to sort of pad around the edge of buildings, because Otherwise, unless like me, where you end up with an inched offset at the back, you would basically have to build completely underneath it and then just put your building on top. That wastes so many tiles. So some major negatives there. They're not double-sided like the original tiles. So maybe you need 2 sets. So you kind of probably already know if this is for you, to be honest. If you're one of those people that has 1 or 2 sets of the originals or the full height walls, it's maybe not for you unless you just want a small outside area. If you want to craft a big sort of town area, maybe slightly bigger than this, with, you know, some buildings either side of a street and have like a really cool place where characters can journey from one end of this street through all the buildings across the streets to the other end, you're going to need at least 2, if not 3 sets of the town square set. So that's a lot of money to invest, straight up sort of thing. You know, you're getting almost, I'd say, less use of these than you would the standard dungeon tiles, which makes me then say, if you've got 1 or 2 of those dungeon tile sets, get a town and village. Don't maybe get the town square set, because yeah, you can do outside areas, but a lot of the time you're going to be going through like taverns and houses and manors that use town and village, and then into dungeons and use dungeon tiles. The rest of the time you can get away with not having these town square sets. It's glorious though. There's no denying that it looks really nice. There's a load of like little grates and stuff extra that you can add. So these are not included. These are from a different set, but it's still a really nice way of sort of just adding an outside area. This is the first time that you can build an outside area rather than just internals and stuff like that. And I like it. I think they've done a really good job with this, and I hope they sort of learn from this and move forward for some of the other sets. Anyway, that's my sort of quick review. Positives, negatives, probably more negatives despite it being a stunning set. And I'm Oliver East, signing out.